Good day, everyone. I pray that you're having a great start to your day. Thank you for joining us in our Lent devotions. Join me today in Genesis chapter 22. We're going to verse 6 today. Genesis chapter 22, verse 6 says these words. Abraham took the wood for the burnt offering and placed it on his son Isaac, and he himself carried the fire and the knife as the two of them went on together. Friends, today I want to talk about being addicted to the details. Being addicted to the details. If you're anything like me, you sometimes wish you could see every little detail of life ahead of time. There's something deeply comforting about knowing what's coming, having a sense of control over what lies ahead. I find joy in making plans, in preparing for what's next, and feeling secure in the certainty that comes with foreknowledge. But as much as I crave that sense of assurance, the reality of life and the way God operates doesn't always allow us that luxury. The truth is, God doesn't always give us a glimpse into the future, and in many ways, that's a blessing rather than a burden. Take Abraham, for example. Abraham's story offers a profound lesson in faith and trust. When God called him to sacrifice his beloved son on the mountain, Abraham didn't hesitate or question God's command. All Abraham did is he simply obeyed, walking into the unknown with unwavering faith. He had no idea what he would encounter along the way, whether the weather would be harsh or mild, what he would see or experience, or even how the whole situation would unfold. He didn't have a step-by-step plan, nor was he given a roadmap. He was called to just trust and move forward without any assurance of the outcome. All Abraham knew was that God had spoken, and that was enough for him to step forward in faith. This kind of faith, one that moves without the certainty of having all the answers, comes with time, friends. It develops through a deepening relationship with God and a commitment to walking in his ways no matter the uncertainty. It's not always easy, but it's something we can attain if we lean into him and trust his leading. Our ability to move with God, even when we don't have all the answers, reveals the depth of our history with him and the maturity we've gained in our walk in our faith. At times, God withholds the details of the journey for our own good. It's easy to become fixated on the specifics of life, whether it's a timeline or if it's a plan or if it's a blueprint of what's to come. Some of us feel a constant need for clarity, for the assurance that everything will work out as we envisioned it. We want to know exactly how things will unfold, when they will happen, and what role we're going to play in it all. But sometimes this obsession with the details can be a hindrance to our faith. It can keep us stuck in a place of inaction and frozen by fear of not having all the pieces in place. God, however, invites us to live by faith, not by our need for control or uncertainty, but to live by faith. He asks us to trust him even when we don't have the full picture. Friends, this kind of trust means being willing to let go of our need to understand every little thing and instead surrender to his wisdom. He calls us to live in the present, to look up from the plans we've carefully laid out, and to pay attention to where he's moving us in the here and the now. The urgency to act today, to respond to his call in a moment, is where true life and purpose are found. And if we're so consumed by what might happen tomorrow, we risk missing out on the riches and the blessings and the favor of today. The fact that God doesn't always reveal the detail to us isn't punishment, friends. It's actually his grace and his preservation. He knows the human tendency to overthink, to worry too much, to allow our minds to become paralyzed by the weight of the unknown. By withholding certain details, he's protecting us from the unnecessary burden of carrying tomorrow's fears and anxieties today. He's sparing us from the mental and emotional entanglements that come with worrying about what's ahead, and he's helping us to stay focused on the task at hand, one faithful step at a time. Ultimately, the hard truth we must come to terms with is this: we don't need to know every single detail of life. Let me say that one more time for somebody in the back of this live stream. We don't need to know every single detail of life. God has promised that he holds the future in his hands, and he asks us to trust him with the future. We may not know the how or the when or the where or even sometimes the why of what's to come, but we do know the who. And when we trust in the who, God, we can find peace in the unknown. We don't have to be consumed by the need for details because God has it all in his control. Friends, you ought to know that he's trustworthy, and that's all we really need to know. Friends, continue to join us in this 40-day journey that we're calling Lent. As we're journeying in our time together, as we draw closer to the cross, I pray that you stay connected with us through all of our social media platforms. Go ahead and share this word with somebody on your social media platform or text it to someone today as we survey God's word and become better Christians as a result of it. Friends, I'm praying for you. I hope you're praying for me, and we'll see you next time.